I was in the yard when it happened. The blinding flash, the deafening roar, the feeling of fire that washed over me from head to toe. I didn't know what hit me. When I came to, the rain fell hard against my face, my arms, my legs, my body, bringing me slowly back into the world with each ice-cold kiss. I struggled, rolled onto my side, and inhaled the smell of the grass as I gasped for air. I tried to force myself to my feet, but the searing pain that ran through me was too much. I passed out. I woke again in the middle of mud, sweat, and tears. I had been crying in my unconscious state. There was something else though, something different. A soft hand, gentle and light, placed on my shoulder. I looked up. The white figure that stood over me seemed to smile as I rolled onto my back again, watching them. He smiled again, standing up, holding his hand out toward me. I smiled back, reaching up for his hand. As I stood, I realized that I felt lighter than I had before. It was then that I looked to see that I hadn't really stood up at all. I lay on the ground, a smile on my face, my eyes watching the clouds overhead. When I looked at the figure again, he was gone, and in his place a child. She smiled at me, reaching up to take my hand, walking with me into the forest. She didn't speak, didn't look up. She just walked, her tiny hand in mine. "Where are we going?" I asked her, my voice like a whisper, though I felt like I shouted the words to her. She glanced up at me with her haunting blue eyes and smiled, but didn't answer. She led me into the trees, the surrounding area growing darker as we walked. After a while we stopped and she looked at me again before she too vanished as the white figure had. I was alone, and despite my current state, frightened. I began to feel a foreboding as I stood there, spinning around when I felt as though someone was approaching me. A black figure, like the white one that had taken my hand, started toward me, red eyes burning from what I assumed to be his head. I tried to turn, tried to run, but I was frozen in place as he came toward, revealing rows of white dagger teeth. Before I found myself in his grasp, letting out a scream as he took over. I stood there, frozen, hurting as I had when I had been struck. Everything flashed, like I had been thrown and fast forward. Waking with a gasp, where I lay in the mud, I gagged, rolled to my side to vomit before I gasped again, trying to catch my breath. I sat up, shaking before I forced myself to my feet, forcing myself to walk inside my home, to wash the mud from my skin and hair, to change my clothes. I walked through the bathroom to the sink to wash my face, freezing when I glanced in the mirror. My eyes. Was that a trick of the light? Did I really do what I thought I had? No, it must be a trick of the light. My mind playing tricks on me from the blow of the lightning strike. I sigh, drying my face and going to lie down to try to recover, unaware of the lingering darkness that stuck to the back, clinging to me, closing in on the one thing it desired most. A body.